I'm Dr. Nolte, and this is Blind Politics. Number one on the presidential power rankings list for 2024 is Ron DeSantis, governor of Florida. Now, this is probably a surprise if you haven't been following the podcast. Why is Donald Trump not number one on this list? I'll give you the simple answer, and then I'll give you the longer answer. The simple answer is that I do not believe Donald Trump will run for president in 2024. So it would be silly of me to put him number one on my list if I think he's not going to run. I've been saying this since 2021. I'm sticking to my guns. I think that Trump is politically actually a little bit more risk averse than people realize, in the sense that he does not like losing, and the possibility that he might lose again would be a deterrent. Whereas if he can step back, play the kingmaker role, and say that he essentially picked the Republican nominee for president, if they win, then he can claim credit for it. And if they lose, then he can talk about how they were a terrible candidate and he would have won, right? So psychologically, that would be important. Now, that being said, I will say I'm a little bit less confident that he won't run than I was in the past. I would still say I'm like 55-45 that he won't run, but that is far down from where I was when I first made this prediction in 2021, and I'll come back to that in a second. Here's the question, though. I'm not sure in a one-on-one race, Trump versus DeSantis, that Trump actually beats DeSantis at this point. And here's why. DeSantis, first of all, has a massive war chest, having raised over $100 million for what is going to be a walkover victory in the Florida gubernatorial race. He is almost certainly going to have the unalloyed pleasure, nay the privilege, of running against Charlie Crist for governor, who is likely to be the Democratic nominee. Charlie Crist, of course, was a moderately successful and incredibly popular Republican governor until he decided to run for Senate in 2010. Lost the Republican primary to Marco Rubio, ran as an independent, lost again, so he lost to Marco Rubio twice, switched parties to become a Democrat, ran against Governor Rick Scott in 2014, lost, then won a House election, and is now retired from the House so that he can run against Ron DeSantis again for governor in 2022, and guess what? Lose. DeSantis has a huge war chest. He is going to win easily. He has a real eye for hitting on cultural conservative notes effectively. In other words, he has followed the Trump strategy to a certain extent of picking fights, but he has been very disciplined and very smart in the way that he's picked fights. He's been very disciplined and very smart in the way that he's worked the media. What I call kind of the rope-a-dope strategy, where he waits for the media to punch and punch and punch and punch and punch and get all spun up, and then he counterpunches in a very effective way on his terms at his moment. So he's smart, he's disciplined, he is not going to be pulled to chase every bunny, which, whether you like Trump or you don't, he's a bunny chaser big time. He is going to chase after whatever is going on. He has something to say about everything. DeSantis is more disciplined, and that discipline will serve him well in the long game of a presidential campaign. And so DeSantis is a clear, albeit slight, frontrunner from my perspective. If you want more evidence of this, look at the fact that Trump is coming out and attacking DeSantis. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean that Trump himself is planning on running, but it does mean that Trump does not like sharing the spotlight. He wants to be the only star, the only sun in the Republican universe, that around which the entire right revolves. And if he sees DeSantis as a threat to that, he's going to try to take him down. So it's no surprise that within the past couple of weeks, Trump World has released a poll showing DeSantis losing to Charlie Crist, which is hilarious, by the way, because it's not going to happen. And you've also seen Trump people come out and say DeSantis is untested. Again, this is a really stupid attack to make against someone who's literally been in the arena against Biden, against the left, against sort of COVID hawks since while Trump was still in office. But Trump's folks attacking DeSantis demonstrates that they see DeSantis as a clear threat to their boss if he decides that he is going to run again. Here's the problem with this strategy from Trump's perspective. If you are lowering expectations about what DeSantis is going to be able to achieve, oh, he's untested, oh, we're not even sure he's going to win for governor, and you're trying to damn him with faint praise. When he squashes Charlie Crist like a bug, that makes DeSantis look stronger and Trump look weaker. The smart play for Trump should be endorsing DeSantis, embracing DeSantis, holding rallies for DeSantis, and doing basically everything he can to try to claim credit when, not if, DeSantis squashes Charlie Crist like a bug. So DeSantis is the slight front runner.